Good morning, viewers. So today we have in this very special episode of Medichit Chat a very eminent speaker, an internationally acclaimed, renowned speaker with us, and it's our pleasure to have and host Dr. Shirish Patil, sir. So, sir, before we begin, I want you to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Shirish Patil, and I'm on a mission to help more than 1 lakh working professionals in the world to achieve whatever they want to achieve and success in their life through mind management. And I've been studying a lot of literature related to mind, related to medicine, related to success, and I'm also the author of a book on infinite intelligence, the mind and the brain, which is becoming popular all over the world today.
All right, so we'll be sharing the link of all those, your website and your books, which is going to be launched, and the one which has already been published.
Yes.
But sir, before that, I want you to know where you got your education from.
I did my MBBS from Belgaum, which is a border of Maharashtra and Karnataka, and then I did my MD in community medicine from Government Medical College, Miras.
So you have been a teacher for a long time of community medicine. It's been how many years that you have been such a great teacher?
Yeah, after my MD, I've been a teacher for 32 years.
Long time.
Yes.
Long time.
Yes.
Sir, now since we have spoken about community medicine और हमारे ये चिट चैट में हम लोग बहुत सारी बातें करने वाले हैं जो कि एक नॉर्मल पर्सन को बहुत हेल्प करेगी अपनी लाइफ में प्रोग्रेस करने के लिए और अपनी लाइफ को थोड़ा सा और ऑर्गेनाइज और प्रोबेबली माइंड को मैनेज करने के लिए. बट आई वांट टू नो कि WHO में हेल्थ का मतलब क्या होता है?
Basically, health means there is no disease, and disease means you're not at ease, and it's basically physical, mental, social and spiritual well-being of a person.
यानी कि सिर्फ डिजीज ना होना तो हेल्थ नहीं है, ये तो एक नेगेटिव है, पर हेल्थ का मतलब बहुत सारे पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट्स भी लाइफ में होते हैं.
Absolutely.
तो सर हम जो इतने सारे हमारा अभी ये आई थिंक वी हैव शॉट मोर देन 25 वीडियोज इन मेडिचिट चैट, और हर पर्सन ने हमको समझाया कि प्रिवेंटिव हेल्थ इज़ द वे फॉरवर्ड. हमें आगे अगर जाना है तो हमको प्रिवेंशन के थ्रू ही जाना पड़ेगा. और सबने कहा कि मेडिटेशन, योगा, लाइफस्टाइल चेंजेस एंड प्रोबेबली रिवर्टिंग बैक टू आवर एंशिएंट गुड थिंग्स इज़ वेरी इफेक्टिव. तो हमारा आज का एपिसोड स्पेशली फोकस था कि अगर कोई बिगिनर है तो वो मेडिटेशन को अपनी बॉडी, अपनी लाइफ में कैसे शामिल करे. हाउ अ पर्सन कैन स्टार्ट मेडिटेशन. बिफोर दैट, व्हाट इज़ मेडिटेशन टू यू? मेडिटेशन मतलब क्या है सर? ध्यान जिसे हम कहते हैं.
Dr. Richa, meditation is basically a way of life. It's a lifestyle, and in meditation we learn to remain centered, we learn to remain focused, and there's a high sense of awareness about ourselves and about the surrounding in meditation. Basically, it becomes a tool or a technique to go within oneself and to concentrate on certain points in the body depending on the nature of the personality, etc. Right, like you rightly said, meditation is known from ancient times, and our rishis, munis and sages have been practicing this, and there's a lot of information related to meditation and mind management in the scriptures and in the literature, which is also available. As far as health is concerned and preventive health is concerned, being in the present now is a activity which meditation helps a person to achieve. Okay. So being in the present moment, we don't have a past. Like, we may learn from the past, but we are not living in the past.
Correct.
We may plan for the future, but we are not yet living for the future. We are actually living in the present moment, in the now. So meditation is something which helps us to be in the present now, in the present moment, and this moment continues to the next moment, to the next moment, to the next moment, and so the future becomes the now. And when you start to have this kind of awareness, we call it as meditation.
Sir, how many years that you have started practicing meditation? आपने कब से ये शुरू किया, और आपकी लाइफ में मेडिटेशन के पहले और बाद में क्या चेंजेस आए जिससे हमारे दर्शक समझ सकें कि एक पर्सन जो प्रैक्टिस करता है उसकी लाइफ में किस तरह का। मैं ये भी जानना चाहती थी कि मेडिटेशन एक जर्नी है या इट इज़ एन अचीवमेंट?
Basically, meditation is like a journey. Like, we don't end something in meditation. It moves from moment to moment, like I already said. The next moment when it becomes now, meditation happens at that stage. And in my life, I remember it was in 1981 when a friend of mine, his name is Harshad, who is today a gastroenterologist in Bangalore, he gifted me a book, The Treasury of Courage and Confidence by Norman Vincent Peale. We lost Norman Vincent Peale, sir, a few years back, but then I became a voracious reader of his books, and then one book led to another book and to another author. So I have extensively read along with the Indian scriptures, right from Swami Chinmayananda's books to some of the Vedas and Upanishads, and the New Age gurus from the West like John Maxwell, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor. We lost Bob Proctor just recently in February 2022. And I had the occasion of meeting John Maxwell and Bob Proctor on different occasions in USA also.
Okay.
And I met a lot of current Indian gurus who are into spiritualism and understood the mechanism by which our inner being functions.
Sir, as a meditation, as I understand, there are two ways. One is when you are managing a lot of people and you want to manage your mind. एक होता है कि जो हम अपनी well-being को manage करें. तो again I will try to bring our focus back to a person individual कि meditation के पहले और meditation के बाद आपकी personal life में क्या फ़र्क आया?
So it has to be seen from 1981 prior and after 1981. 1981 was the period in my life when I got admission first in Ayurveda in Pune. I was there for 10 days. And then I got for MBBS in Belgaum. So immediately we switched over to MBBS. And I found the first year very tough.
Okay.
And it was difficult because there was nobody from the medical background in the family. And that's the time when I started reading books to gather my own faith, to gather my own strength, to build up my self-esteem, self-confidence and self-concept back into this. And before 1981, I was like any other normal human being, quite relaxed. Yeah, I was very hardworking, very organized even then. But in 1981, when I joined MBBS, I realized that there's more to life. And while dissecting the cadavers, I found the studies quite difficult.
Right.
It was not easy for me. And initially I began by studying.
Meditation helped you
Yes.
tide over all those initial difficulties while you were kind of transforming from one phase of your life to another.
Absolutely.
How is meditation? अभी meditation या ध्यान का आपकी लाइफ में day to day में क्या इम्पोर्टेंस है और आप उसे कैसे प्रैक्टिस करते हैं?
Today there is something called as power of now. There's only present moment.
Okay.
And as far as possible to remain in the present moment without being bogged down by what has happened 5 minutes back.
Okay.
And without getting worried what is going to happen 5 minutes from now.
So
and being in that total awareness is what is coming naturally to me because of the years of practice which has been done. Yeah, sometimes there is some deviation which happens even today, but as far as possible with the various exercises, tools, techniques and reading which I have done, I have internalized certain time-tested procedures
which
related to mind management, which comes naturally to me, like we are breathing.
So I can understand कि through meditation or through these practices, we can to some extent take care of our stress of day-to-day life by understanding कि what is important is only this very moment. न तो पहले का कुछ important है और न तो आगे आने वाले के लिए हमको कोई चिंता करनी है.
Right.
तो ये जो प्रैक्टिस है इसी को मेडिटेशन कहते हैं.
Yes.
अब सर मेडिटेशन की जब हम बातें करते हैं तो बहुत सारी वैरायटी ऑफ मेडिटेशन है. आपका पर्सनल फेवरेट क्या है, और कोई बिगिनर हो जो कि ये आज का वीडियो देखे और कल से सोचे कि मैं भी कोई ऐसी प्रैक्टिस। हम ये तो समझते हैं कि हम बाहर का एनवायरनमेंट चेंज नहीं कर सकते, लाइफ में जो कुछ भी बाहर हो रहा है
Right.
वो तो हम नहीं बदल सकते। हम जो कुछ बदल सकते हैं वो सिर्फ अपना थॉट प्रोसेस
Yeah.
और अपना मैनेजमेंट, अपनी लाइफ का मैनेजमेंट बदल सकते हैं। तो अगर कोई पर्सन जो सुन रहा है, उसको आपकी इतना एक्सपीरियंस है, आपका इतना वास्ट एक्सपीरियंस है मेडिटेशन में, आप उसको क्या बोलेंगे कि वो अपने दिन में क्या चीज़ें शुरू कर दे और कैसे प्रोग्रेस करें?
As far as meditation is concerned, the best method is to focus on the breath.
Okay.
That's the easiest thing, because we are breathing day in and day out. Being aware of our breathing is something which comes naturally to most of us. So if you're focused on your breath, you start going inwards, and that helps to bring about some kind of a calmness to a particular person, especially when he's in stress. So that's why one of the 8 limbs of practice of Patanjali Yoga Sutras or Patanjali Yoga is pranayama.
Correct.
Pranayama is focusing on your breath, and there are different kinds of pranayama depending on the nature's personality, the person's personality, etc. And that is one of the simplest thing which someone can do. Second is concentration on an external object. But in meditation, it's living inside out, not living outside in. So it's better to concentrate on something which is within. When you start concentrating on something which is within, that helps us to bring about certain changes in the body chemistry also. Like when you concentrate or focus on something which is within, could be your breath or could be anything, could be a sound like Om from within rather than the external. And there are stages when a person can hear his own heartbeat from within, the normal kind of a heartbeat. He can see some lights inside. So it could be auditory, it could be a feeling, or it could be an emotion, or it could be something visual, but it is all inside, which is happening in the body mechanism which is there. Now, when we talk about something living from inside out rather than from outside in, one of the best ways of measuring it is the brain waves which are there. There are basically 4 to 5 types of brain waves: alpha, beta, theta, delta, and gamma also. It is the alpha wave which is more predominant when you are living from inside out. So if we have to measure a person and understand whether he's in a meditative state, or whether he is somebody who is more inclined towards spiritualism, or he wants to achieve something different, alpha waves are more predominantly present in that particular person.
So actually you can scientifically kind of prove that your brain is now quietened and you are more inwards than externally.
Because
as I understand कि हमें ये सब भी प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ता है. रिएक्शंस जो हमारे लाइफ में रोज डे टू डे होते हैं वो हमारे प्रैक्टिस्ड रिएक्शंस होते हैं. गुस्सा आना भी काइंड ऑफ कंट्रोल किया जा सकता है, या इट्स नॉट लाइक हर पर्सन तो गुस्सा नहीं करता. कोई करता है, कोई नहीं करता. तो जो नहीं करता है उसने प्रॉब्ली अपने माइंड को ट्रेन किया हुआ है कि वो किस तरह से रिएक्ट करे एक पर्टिकुलर में. आपके हिसाब से सर कौन सा सबसे सही समय रहेगा किसी बिगिनर के लिए मेडिटेशन करने के लिए?
The present moment is the most important moment.
Okay, तो आप जहाँ पे भी हैं,
in whatever stage of evolution you are on this planet, that is the right moment.
तो कोई दिन का ऐसा वेरिएशन नहीं होता कि सवेरे ही उठ के करें या रात में?
That as you become little advanced, then there are certain times in the day, especially the morning time, which is known as Brahma Muhurta, that has been tested even in the scriptures. That is the time wherein the energy field, the quantum mechanism of the universe is in a particular alignment, because most of the saints and the ancient rishis have meditated at that particular time. So there's a different kind of vibration and a frequency which happens at that particular moment. It is easy for a beginner to get aligned to that particular frequency. Because ultimately, when we talk of meditation and we become a little advanced, it is nothing but understanding our own vibrations.
Okay.
It's understanding our own frequency. And when we say alpha waves, the alpha waves are those which are at a frequency of 17 to 14. Theta are below 7 also. Theta is a little advanced kind of meditation where the person is more centered. So it's a energy which is always there. We are basically not human beings, but we are spiritual beings having a human existence. So once we understand this particular things, that we are spiritual beings on this planet having a human existence, and we have a finite existence, but we are infinite beings because we are spiritual.
Right.
And understanding this concept and living it consciously, getting connected to the cosmic consciousness through an awareness by attention on certain things inside the body is nothing but meditation. So in simple terms.
Sir, एज आई अंडरस्टैंड, मतलब जो आपने बताया कि हमको ये अवेयरनेस एक बार आ जाती है कि हम लोग बॉडी में इस समय इस पर्टिकुलर बॉडी में है, बट वी आर एक्चुअली इन एनर्जी विच इज़ मच बियॉन्ड दिस बॉडी.
एब्सोल्युटली
राइट.
यस.
तो मुझे ये भी जानना था कि हम अपने डे टू डे लाइफ में अपने रिएक्शंस को कैसे कंट्रोल करें, मतलब अपने थॉट्स को भी और अपने किसी भी सिचुएशन में reaction ko.
As far as this energy is concerned, Dr. Richa, we all call it by different names. Somebody might be calling it God, somebody might be calling it spirit, but creating that awareness and a knowledge kind of thing, that is something which has to happen first, and then you can bring it into day-to-day living. It ultimately becomes effortless.
Okay.
At a particular time, because you know that you don't have to put any effort. You are an energy which is over there, and you just live like that energy. And understanding comes like energy cannot be destroyed, nor can it be created. So that's about the human spirit also. It cannot be destroyed, it cannot be created, but this energy changes itself. It may transform from something into something else, but energy will always remain as energy, whatever we call it, by whichever name we'll be calling it. And we are fortunate to be here on this planet Earth as human beings, because this is a rare occasion to have a human birth. It is only through the human birth that we can understand this energy. Animals don't understand. Animals live by instinct. Now the cosmic divine, whatever is there, has given us this understanding and has given us, along with the brain, the mind. Now, because of mind, we are able to understand certain things, and in the mind also, what we are talking now is the conscious part of the mind where we are interacting with each other. But there's much more deeper inside, which is 90 to 95% of the mind, which is subconscious, which we don't come to know. All the habits, everything that is formed is inside into the subconscious mind. And in meditation, you learn to break the barrier of the conscious mind and to go directly into the subconscious mind. In day-to-day living, if we start practicing meditation in a proper scientific way, we can program the subconscious mind into whatever we want to achieve at the physical world.
Okay.
Now, people might go beyond into that and be into an enlightened stage or achieve different things. That's another part of it. But habits get formed at subconscious level. And Dr. Richa, on an average, you can say we have about 60,000 thoughts in a day. So 60,000 thoughts are happening every 24 hours. 90% of them are repetitive thoughts without our awareness.
Agreed.
What we have thought yesterday,
we just go on chewing on the same thing.
Same thoughts keep coming.
Either it is, sometimes it might not be even productive.
Absolutely.
But we just go on repeating, chewing the same thing.
Correct.
So cutting those irrational thoughts is also very, very important.
So in meditation, We do thought audit also.
Okay. Thought audit. Okay.
Yeah. So if you are having on an average 60,000 thoughts and 90% of it is repetitive, and of the repetitive 90% is negative, that is going to affect whatever we are going to do. So if you analyze people who have achieved success, you can choose anybody, whether it's in the materialistic world, whether it's in the financial world, whether it's in relationship world, political world. They are the people who make sure that their thoughts are always positive as much as possible, and the more positive thoughts are there, the more positive habits get built.
So it's more productive.
Yes, and the life is nothing but controlled by the subconscious mind. Our heartbeat is controlled by subconscious mind. All the functioning of the various organs which happen in the body is controlled by the subconscious mind, not by the conscious mind. But the thinking part of the mind happens through the conscious part. And whatever we think sinks into the subconscious and becomes a habit. So by repetition, you go on consciously thinking or creating something, either visually or auditory or feeling wise, whatever you want to manifest into this world repeatedly. In say about 21 to 42 days, it becomes a habit once it gets imbibed into the subconscious mind. And then the subconscious runs the whole show. The drive of living will come from subconscious mind.
Sir, what a contradiction. Basically, this whole concept is such a contradiction. You are in the worldly nature, then you want to come inwardly, then you want to again achieve something worldly. But then I feel eventually you just have to give back to society in much more kinder, and you have to become somebody who can actually make changes or probably helps much larger society in upliftment.
Correct.
So it's basically a greater good, and if we can achieve through meditation, nothing like it. Before, sir, because we can learn so much from you, I want to know, how do you manage stress in your day-to-day life? Because again, it is external. So okay, I have not reacted to it at that moment because I have learned that let me understand the situation, but then still mind has to be managed for the stress.
Right.
So what are your some tips which you feel कि इतना याद रखेंगे तो you can manage the stress?
The word stress, Dr. Richa, has been coined by Hans Selye, and he's somebody who saw the stress factor which is there in steel. So in architecture, a lot of steel is used, and the word has come from that particular thing. And stress is nothing but an inherent mechanism which has come as a part of evolution as we have become human beings now. Earlier days, there used to be flight and fight mechanism. Like in the animal world, a tiger is there and it's trying to catch its prey. It could be a deer or anybody. So the deer is always under stress. So either it runs away from the tiger or it fights with the tiger and gets caught. So basically stress has come that way. And today in human beings, we have complicated our own life. And from the flight to fight mechanism, by complicating our own life either with technology or using technology properly, we are still having that flight and fight mechanism within us.
Because sir, stress now in our routine could be like paying an EMI or probably getting likes on a Facebook.
Absolutely.
So there is a huge thing that one stress you are probably thinking, Carrie, where will I stay tomorrow if I don't pay my EMI for a particular thing? Or it is as futile as something not like giving you a like or a thumbs up on a Facebook, which is so stress is important to both of them.
Absolutely.
But we understand that the value of these stress is absolutely different. So what is your advice for this newer, younger generation about the stress of social media and how meditation could help them?
As for the younger generation is concerned, during our times we used to have teenagers, but today they are all screenagers. So they are either on the mobile screen or the iPad or tab or cinema screen, television screen. So they are mostly distracted. There's a lot of information overload for the current generation, and this information overload is causing a lot of stress to them. and they have missed the shock absorbing mechanism which our generation had because of these recent changes which are happening in the society uh, and other things. So managing stress for this particular generation is to make sure that they follow whatever their parents are telling them, because parents are somebody who have lived their life.
And they have the best intentions in their heart. Nobody is going to love you more than your parents.
Absolutely. So they've lived their life, they've gone through the experiences, and it's a real life experience which they'll be sharing with their children and to the younger generation. And secondly, to become aware of the abundance which is there in the human existence, in the human life, not related just to technology, but with whatever is the inherent being which is present inside us. So the mind factor which is there, mind is much beyond than what technology we are having today, because this technology has been created by mind itself. So mind is much bigger. To make it very simple, the brain is something like a hardware, the mind is something like a software, and the whole of existence is nothing but energy, and it's a mental energy.
Sir, now we are probably in the last phase of our interview, and I wanted to know, what does happiness mean to you?
Well, again, it comes back to being in the present. So happiness is not something which you achieve from outside.
Can you learn happiness? Can you learn to be happy? Or it is like a small baby who's just happy?
Happiness is a kind of a feeling which is from within. And the inherent nature of a human being is happiness, which we have missed. So a little advanced word to happiness is bliss. So blissful state is a normal existing state for any human being. But because we have complicated our life, we are missing out on this blissful state, and that's why we are missing out on this happiness. So it's something which is within. Nobody can make you happy but yourself. We always look out for happiness, but happiness is something which is there always inside.
So external factors cannot make you happy.
Not at all.
You have to find your own happiness within.
Yes.
And probably investing in relationships would be one thing which would...
Absolutely.
Situations will come and go, but your relations... True relations would be one which will be anchoring you to and bringing you back to the happiness always.
Absolutely.
Sir, I also wanted to know, if somebody is not getting good sleep or is very stressed, probably about thinking about future or something which has happened in past, can meditative techniques help in a peaceful sleep also?
Yes, because basically meditation is nothing but relaxation of the physical body also. So when you practice whatever technique or method of meditation you're going to practice, the body automatically becomes relaxed, and the complete internal engineering mechanism of the body comes into alignment with the mind and with the soul. So there is an alignment which happens in meditation, the body, mind and soul. That's why there's something called as a Kundalini Yoga, where the energy moves from the base to the crown chakra. That's nothing but alignment of the human body with the mind, so that the crown chakra gets opened up.
Have you experienced it, sir?
Yeah, in meditation, because the body goes into a relaxed state, if you're doing it properly, then it results in sleep. Sometimes while meditating, the person may fall asleep also, because it brings calmness to the body, and the person may automatically go into sleep, what is known as yoga nidra.
I was reading somewhere, and then they said that when a person is sleeping, you are closest to God. It is the ultimate meditative stage.
True.
Where you are just blissfully sleeping.
Yes.
So I guess, sir, do you believe in instructional meditation techniques where somebody is guiding you through something and you're visualizing? Do you believe in it? And do you feel for a beginner it is one of the ways that you can enter meditation?
For newcomers and beginners, guided meditation does help, because somebody needs to give certain instructions to the mind, and the person has to follow. Hypnotism is a type of guided meditation if done properly. So a person speaks at alpha level of mind to the other person and then takes it into a calm, relaxed state where the brain waves can be brought down. So guided meditation definitely helps in the initial stages, but as you grow more advanced, then it all happens from within.
Okay.
And,
So in the initial beginners can follow these
yes,
links of guided
yes,
meditation.
newcomers should follow.
Should.
But as a person becomes advanced, just that person's touch to somebody can cause healing. Just that person's touch can cause relaxation. So that's because that person is always in that energy and vibration and frequency stage, and that vibration gets transmitted and healing happens, or maybe a relaxation kind of thing happens.
Although it is not directly related to meditation or the topic we are talking, but it is very important to human psychology, and that's why I wanted to know something about fear, how to deal with this fear of something we know through literature, through so many people who have experienced and told that 90-95% of the fears which human brain predicts doesn't happen. So how should a person overcome this futile thought of fear?
About fear, Dr. Richa, there are three things. There is a desire, there is a belief, and there is a expectancy. So fear is nothing but false expectations appearing real. When you have false expectations and they appear real inside to you, that is a kind of fear which happens. There could be a rope which is hanging just somewhere else, and a person feels that it's a snake and starts getting fearful for it. So it's a false expectation which is appearing real. That's a simple example which can be given. So when we start analyzing our own mental work which happens inside, and you realize that there are a lot of false acceptances which are done, false expectations which are happening, and we need to change those. Sometimes our habits are such that one builds up a lot of wrong expectations in the habits itself, and that's how the anger builds up, that's how the fear builds up, and then the jealousy comes. So all the negative kind of thinking which are not useful in the materialistic world or the inner world keep on happening, and fear is one of them.
So as I have understood that your fear is like a negative, is like a magnet which is going to pull all the worldly negativity towards it and
Correct.
make everything look much bigger than it's actually
Absolutely.
is.
Absolutely.
So
Practicing meditation, practice meditation, and that will minimize the fear. Like many people, the second biggest fear of death is public speaking. People are scared to go on the mic and speak, and it happens with 85 to 90% of people that they're scared to go on the mic and speak to an audience of 500 or 1000 or even 10 or 15 people. So that fear, if we have to eliminate, you just have to practice.
right.
Practice speaking, practice speaking.
Yes.
So that applies to anything. Do it repeatedly, what you are afraid of, and the fear will disappear.
Correct. So probably it's like again accepting.
Yes,
Everything begins with okay, there is an issue,
correct.
and now we are solving it.
Yeah.
So there is an issue that I cannot sleep peacefully. I have to solve it. There is an issue that there is fear in my brain. I have to solve it. And there is an issue that I have to be positively healthy, and hence we have to practice meditation.
Right.
So from this elaborate talk, if anybody has to really take away, is that start, you will reach somewhere. Not that everybody is going to be in the ultimate blissful zone, but at least you can live your day-to-day life much
Absolutely,
better. Much
Dr.
better.
Yeah.
Sir, before we sign off, I just wanted, if some viewer is watching this and they want to get some insight, which are one or two books which you recommend to begin with, that okay, you start reading this and eventually it is knowledge and awareness, and our whole Medichit chat is about awareness and knowledge, because
Correct.
knowledge is power. If you know, you are powerful. So which book you recommend for a beginner level? This video will be watched from teenager to everybody.
Right.
So what is your
The best books are our scriptures, but then today we have many commentaries in simple language which have been written on Upanishads. And Upanishad is nothing but sitting at the feet of the Guru, and the knowledge which has been transmitted from generation after generation is already written there. And the new age commentators have put it in something which the current generation can understand. Those are the best things if you have
So
time
it is
and
available
occasion.
in some kind of podcast or something?
It's available in soft copy, Amazon.com. Kindle versions are available.
So you have
Hard
to
copies are available.
go for Upanishad.
That is the best if somebody really wants to understand. Because even if authors like me have written something, we have borrowed from there.
Okay.
All we have done is we have put it in such a way and packaged it so that the new age generation can understand. But the origin is there,
Alright.
whether it's the Bible or the Bhagavad Gita or the Upanishad or Vedas. That is the source from where even today's authors have picked up certain thing, and we just have modified and packaged it. And as far as the new age guru books are concerned, there are many. You can
Your personal favorite?
uh, Napoleon Hill's work is something which
Inspires you a lot.
Yeah, I have read a lot along with Norman Vincent Peale, and there's a very good book, 17 Laws of Success,
All right.
by Napoleon Hill. And it's available easily in any bookshop.
And
The-
then when is your next book being released? I think it's in
3rd
Jan.
of January. 3rd of
Fantastic.
January.
So we will be covering that
Yes,
live.
definitely.
And thank you so much, sir. It was such a lovely talk and we learned so much. Still, it's such a vast topic that it's not possible to cover in 35-36 minutes. But I guess that somewhere we have to begin and let go of stress. It's just today.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens tomorrow. So just live in today. I think that is
Absolutely.
what. Anything which you want to tell our viewers as a last thought?
Well, Dr. Richa, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you land amongst the stars. And that is what we have to do. And put 100%, be passionate about what you want to do. Go ahead with it. At least you land amongst the stars if you don't shoot the moon.
Thank you so much, sir. It was such a nice lecture. We had such pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much, Shirish, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Richa.